Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Auxito 7-inch off-road LED light. Now these are pretty big. Now when you think of a 7-inch light, I'm visualizing in my head like, oh, they're not too big. But these are some big lights, if you can see here. The coolest part about these is they're 100% plug and play. So here is the plugs that you're going to be using, and the box comes with the mounting hardware as well. The standard kit comes with the plugs where it'll plug in, and then you basically, it has an end here, right, like this, where you would have to make your own wiring harness. But we did not do that. We went ahead and opted for their plug and play wiring harness. And that comes with everything you need to hook this up to your battery. It comes with the relay, comes with the fuse, and it comes with all the stuff you need to set this up and have it mounted, to include your switches. So you got two easy plug and play connectors and your toggle switches. And this is an option that you can get on the Auxito website. And I would highly suggest that you do this method, unless you're good at wiring and doing all your own stuff. I'm not a wirer, right? I don't do it a lot. And but what I'm gonna do is, I have a 2023 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss, and I do not have a bumper for it yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test these lights to make sure they work and see how bright they are, their function, and we're gonna go from there. However, I will not be mounting them today because I do not have anywhere to mount them, and I'll show you downstairs when we go down to the truck that my grill is pretty flat. Now this mounting hardware is gonna mount like your typical, like a typical light would. So the plate is gonna be here, and you'll be able to rotate it on the axis here. So if you can kind of imagine your typical mounting hardware, so it will end up mounting like this, right? So it's gonna clamp essentially onto something, and the only problem is, again, I don't really have a place to mount them yet. I'm trying to think of how I could, but we're still in the brainstorming process on that. I could get a bull bar and have them mounted on a bull bar, but if I want to move up to a bigger bumper eventually, maybe I should just go that route. But we'll tackle that when we get there. We're gonna test these lights, and we're gonna see how bright they really are. Obviously we're gonna do this at night, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of read you off some of the specs from the box here. So the product specification for each light is gonna be, your operating voltage is DC 10 to 30 volts, power 90 watts. It is IP67 for its IP rating, which is good. It's water resistant, right? Light source is LED, color temperature 5700K. Heat sink is aluminum, size 7-inch, and it says it has 50,000 operating hours. Of course, you can read the back here, and we've got high performance, high impact resistant, I67 waterproof and dustproof, trouble-free operation, and it's an automotive grade cables, which means the cables and the gauge is quite thick. Even on here you can see these are quite thick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, head downstairs. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna temporarily test these, and we're gonna see how bright they are. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna be hooking up those lights. We're gonna double check it. But as you can see on my front grille here, there's nowhere for me to mount them. If I was gonna try to mount them, I'd have to drill a hole through here and here because I don't have anything up here. If I wanted to put a ditch light on, I could go from here, but I think those 7-inch lights maybe would be, you know, a little too big. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get under the hood. I'm gonna show you how to wire them and show you how the switch works. Hey everybody, so we're here at the 2023 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss, and we've just put all the Auxito light stuff together. Okay, so it comes with this wiring harness here, as you can see. I have the relay temporarily grounded because I don't have anywhere to mount these lights, so I'm just showing you how to hook it up temporarily. You have the red wire that is to the positive battery terminal with an inline fuse, and then you have the ground wire here. Now this inline fuse, I have the fuse out. What this is used for is so that nothing short circuits. If it does short circuit, it'll cut the fuse, which cuts the circuit to the lights, meaning that there's no damage to the battery, no damage to any of your electronics on your truck. So you need to make sure when you're installing, keep that fuse out, and then you're good. So as you can see, very simple to set up. I don't have my wires all tucked and tidied away, right, because I'm not going to be mounting these today. I'm just going to do a test, make sure they work, and show you if you were to install these, this is how you do it. Black to the negative terminal, red to the positive terminal, keep that fuse out. And of course, this relay can be grounded anywhere you have a bolt. So I could do it underneath one of these bolts. You could actually tap a bolt into the fender wall if you want. You could put it right here on this bolt. You could find multiple places as long as it's attached to metal that is going to ground these lights. Let's head down to the lights real quick. Very easy install. All this is a plug and play wire, okay? So I have them just sitting on the ground. However, if you were gonna mount them, it comes with this style mount here, and the bolts would go through and you would secure it just like that, and you can angle it here. This has a side angle, so you can angle it up and down if you were to mount it. So just to show you all, we do have a switch. It's gonna be the first, middle is off, and 2 is on. So up is daylight running lights, off, and then 2 means full LED lights. And we're about to show you what that looks like. Now that we're ready to go ahead and test these lights, we're gonna put the inline fuse back in to the fuse box, to the fuse here. Once that's in, go ahead and push that down and we're good to go. So this is all set up and ready to go. So what we need to do is make sure you turn your vehicle on because these draw a tremendous amount of power. All right, the truck is running, everything is powered, so we're going to go ahead and test the daylight running lights. So the daylight running light test. Nice. So these are the daylight running lights. You can see they're very bright. If you come straight down, go ahead and look at them straight. Very bright, very prominent, and they look really, really nice. A nice amber glow. Exactly what you'd want if you're running on the daylight. You need to keep something on just like your vehicles have. This is a really good option. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and test out those LEDs. So we're gonna turn these LEDs on. Are you ready, babe? Because they're gonna be pretty bright. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. They are bright. These are very bright floodlights. Look, Kinsley's like, what the heck? So let me just show you again. So babe, keep the camera pointed at our puppy. Can you see her? I can see you now.
Hey Kinsley, don't look at it.
Oh,
it's
man.
gonna
so
her eyes.
Let me show you. You can
lay down.
Point it back to me. So if you look up here, these are floodlight. You can see how the light, see how it couples together. This is more of a floodlight, very bright. Very bright, very, very nice. If I had the option to mount these, you know, I think I would mount them right here. You think if I could get them high enough, you know, that would probably be perfect right there. but I think I would have to drill a hole inside there. But overall, those are nice. Very, very, very bright. They put out a mild amount of heat. The cooling fins in the back are going to keep them cool as long as they're exposed to some air. Let's go like this. So even having them on for a few minutes, they're not warm even barely to the touch.
That's very bright.
It's just awesome how bright they are. So a good quality light. Just to remind you of the specs here. So these lights are pushing out, their operating voltage is DC 10 to 30 volts, 90 watts, pure LED, aluminum heat sinks, and these are 7 inches. Once I get a platform on the front of the truck here that will allow me to mount, I'm going to mount. Let's try something real quick. So these are the daylight running lights. I'm going to turn these ones on. So those would look pretty cool if I could get them all together. That would look awesome. But overall, extremely bright lights, very easy to install, and as you can see, it's very easy to operate. So if you want a pair of these 7-inch off-roading lights, you can go ahead, go over to Auxito, get these orders now. These are awesome lights and good for any application if you're off-roading or even just driving. I will say if I was to use them as a ditch light, I think they'll be a little heavy, so I'm going to primarily mount mine up front once I have that application. But these are a brilliant light, very, very good quality. They're a little on the heavy side for being a ditch mounted light, so I would stick to putting them up front if you can, but if you have a bracket that'll handle the ditch mounted light, you definitely can't go wrong. These would illuminate the night light in the ditches and on the trails, and if you're in the forest, anywhere that you need some illumination, these lights are going to give you exactly what you're looking for. Thank you for watching. If you have any recommendations for me mounting them on my 23 Trail Boss, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions or comments about these lights, go ahead and put it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And the link will be in the description so you can go over and get your pair now.